So I'm sitting here over in my mother's house uh, on night duty. Last night I was, and I'm trying to enjoy my coffee, and taking in a bit of Sky News. Now, I've already had a ripple of disquiet growing through me because Kay Burley has got her morning slot back, and it's Kay Burley in Wigan. She's kind of doing a follow up to George Orwell's The Road to Wigan Pier, as far as I can see, because she's a Wigan lass apparently, from the old days. It must have been quite a long time ago, but anyway. So the news this morning has been, a carefully curated rogues gallery of Tory PMs that are, members of the House of Commons that have some sort of sex scandal in their background, and you know the voters in the local elections will be given their opinion on that, doubtless. Then we had a piece on, just a small piece on, the obesity epidemic in Britain, with only white fat people shown, which I thought was rather amusing. But I guess we shouldn't be diminishing, obesity and all the health effects it can have. So now we have Charles and Camilla's little visit to Canada. It looked like a lovely time, but this clip here is a microcosm of the current thing. I suppose it would be the way you would.
On the latest leg of their royal tour of Canada, Prince Charles and Camilla have been urged to face up to Britain's colonial past and its treatment of Indigenous people. They've been met with cheering crowds, but some are against the visit. Our royal correspondent Rhiannon Mills sent us.
So the story is nicely framed here. Forget all the thousands of people out cheering and the pageantry, and the people clearly enjoying the royal visit. The hell with that. The hell with that. There's past sins to be atoned for here. So
This report from Ottawa.
As far back as Queen Victoria, the Mounties performed for the royals.
I mean, I hope that's like a fake pelt on that man there. Come on, nature.
Something no doubt to celebrate, but it is darker parts of Britain's colonial past and the treatment of Indigenous people that is, to a degree, hanging over this tour.
Well, it's to a degree that Sky News choose to focus on a fringe element, at a what should be really just a lovely celebration of the Canadian culture and its ties, especially to Scotland.
Prince Charles and his team constantly wanting to show us they are here to listen. Not enough, says Garth Albridge, a lawyer who's represented Aboriginal groups.
What I've heard the Prince say up to this in the first 24 hours is what I quite derisively typically refer to as rainbows and unicorns. All very lovely sounding words, but that don't really accomplish anything.
I'm not entirely sure what's supposed to be accomplished. Maybe there's some formal process of some sort of redress occurring. But I'm going to keep my ears peeled to hear if there's any mention of all the churches being burned down by lefty activist types in Canada, or if there's going to be any mention of the false allegations of mass graves. And but let maybe I'm wrong. Let's listen.
Put into residential school and subjected to all of the atrocities.
Okay.
So, okay, atrocities is a very strong word. It'll pass without any scrutiny, though, and we'll assume that it's all and everything that this gentleman has said is correct. So this protest element is covered.
J.D. Anderson was abused in one of those residential schools and wrote to the Queen in 2011. He sees this visit as a new opportunity. opportunity to make sure that they are being heard.
There's consent to move forward, but we've never been formally gifted with that right and privilege as survivors.
You just have.
I know it's a small thing, but I think that it's the way the language remains the same. You know, the survivors word, just indicative of the approved language or the yeah.
To look back at the Queen's long reign, and you soon realise that it really is nothing new for royals to have to navigate difficult issues. What has changed, though, is that social media has just.
Yeah. Earlier we were told about a tweet that one Tory council member or chamber member rather sent out about the most recently accused colleague. So are we getting a discussion here about the double-edged sword of social media, like that it's been that is terrible the way it's used to, you know, let bad actors and bad voices speak, or is this going to be a little puff piece about how social media is this, you know, panopticon of moral supervision of everyone? Now, I'm interested to hear.
Ramped up that scrutiny, and now it's simply no longer enough to just wave, nod, and say nothing at all. And it does matter with.
Yeah, I suppose me 20, 30 years ago would have been hell yeah. But, you know.
Questions about the future of the monarchy here. You can't fault their enthusiasm for meeting people. They do cram in the visit.
Yeah, there's also the little matter of all the thousands of people milling about that clearly are enjoying the occasion, and it's a lovely time for them.
Including a stop with the Ukrainian community, the third largest in the world, now welcoming those forced from their homes.
Hitting all our food groups. And there's the money shot.
Isn't the Prime Minister who is likely to give the royals
Shuttler with his little mask.
But the debate is very much alive, even if the supporters do seem to outnumber those wanting to cut ties.
Yeah, I'm noticing something about the protesters. Yeah. So yeah, Sky News. What would we do without you? What would we do without you? Thanks for listening.